Welcome to this paper, which we're looking today at the paper one, higher paper, 2018 in June, the summer of 2018. So we're looking at Edexcel, it's all there. So let's get straight into it. Of course, it's a non-calculator, so don't use a calculator. And let's just get into the question. Right, so the first one we see is a straightforward fraction question, but what you've got to be careful about here is when you're adding fractions, you've got to have common denominators and it's got to be top heavy. You can't have this mixed fraction business going on. So you've got to realise that in two wholes, you have 7/7 in two wholes. So therefore, you've got 14 plus 1, 15/7 there. And here in one whole, you've got 4 quarters plus that 1. So you've got 5 quarters there. Now, as I said, you've got to have common denominator. So what goes into 7, what the 7 and 4 go into? Well, you can multiply them together and that should be straightforward for you. So we can see here that I'm going to, if I times that by 4, whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. That's obviously adding. Whatever I do to the bottom here, times that by 7, I do to the top. So now we get, and it's a non-calculator, so 15 times 4. When you times by 4, double, so it's 30, 60. All over 7 4s, double, 14, 28. And then I'm going to add to that 7 5s, 35 over 28. And add that all together, so that's 95 over 28. And you can't leave it like that. You've got to have it as a mixed fraction. So therefore, it's given as a mixed fraction, so you've got to leave it as a mixed fraction. And you've got to think to yourself, how many 28s go into 95? But I've just checked the answer thing here, and actually, look at that. They let it happen. So let it happen. Leave it as that. It's always good to check your mark scheme just to make sure if you're doing it right. In the exam, if I was doing this, I'd be a bit more nervous, I guess. But look at that. Awesome. So now let's go to this one. Work out 1 1/5 divided by. Okay, so that's the old keep, change, flip. If you want to divide a fraction, here's a clue, a tip. Keep, change, flip. But again, better to put that into a vulgar or top heavy or an improper fraction. How many fifths in 1? There's 5 plus that 1 there. So you've got 6/5 divided by 3 quarters. Now, because we're dividing by it, I'm going to flip that, called to reciprocate that, and change that sign. So in the end, we have 6 over 5 times by 4 over 3. And I know I can cancel that down. There are one set of 3's there, and there are 2 sets of 3's there. 2 4's are 8. 5 times 1 is 5. And then it says here, leave your answer as a mixed number. Okay, how many 5's in 8? 1, remainder 3. So that's what you go with that one there. Okay, question 2. It says here, the number of houses and the number of flats are in the ratio. Now, ratio has been really quite popular nowadays. So what I'm going to do here is I've got the number of houses and flats. So houses to flats, 7 to 4. Writing like that's handy. The number of flats to bungalows is 8 to 5. I'm writing down the information. There are 50, highlight that, 50 bungalows. So there, that one there are 50 of those. How many houses in the village? Well, there's loads of things I can straight away see to do. I know 50 and 5, that's handy, so that's quite an easy one. But I've got to connect the bungalows to the houses. So I've got to connect these two, so I need a bridge. And this is my bridge. And look, if I can make these the same, then there's a bridge I can carry across. So, well, I can make them both go to 8. And so that changes double that. If I double the 4, I double the 7. So now I've got my bridge. So I know the ratio of houses to bungalows is 14 to 5. And if it's 50 bungalows, I'm timesing by 10, show my workings out, times that by 10 to make it 140. Classic question with the bridge. Really nice if you get a question like that. I think we've got time to do question 3. So here we go. Renee buys 5 kilograms of sweets to sell. She pays £10 for the sweets. And then it says, Renee puts all of the sweets into bags. She puts 250 grams of sweets into each bag. It's a lot of words here, so I need to do some writing. It's just stressing me out otherwise. So she buys 5 kilograms, I'm gonna write 5 kilograms of sweets, and she pays with £10. I'm just gonna write it out. I've gotta own some of this. I can't leave it blank. Now, she puts them all into bags. Okay, so I've got bags here. There's a bag, there's a bag, there's a bag. And she puts 250 grams of sweets. Oh, okay, so each of those is 250 grams. And that's 5 kilograms. So that's 5,000 grams. So I'm just gonna put that there as well. So I know, I'm gonna write it out, 5,000 grams. Okay, so I'm slightly getting into this now. She sells each bag of sweet for 65p. Oh, that's handy, look, okay. So that's 65p as well. And she sells all the bags of sweets, work out her profit. Okay, because I've kind of got into it a bit more, I'm slightly happier now. I need to work out, obviously, each bag carries 250 grams. I need to know how many bags I've got. And fortunately, I can see 250, 500, there's a connector there, isn't there? So I need to say how many 250s go into 5,000. And I can see, if I knock that off, 25 into 50, that's 20 times. 20 times. It might take you a bit longer to do, but eventually you'll realize it is 20 times that. So you've got 20 bags, and that's good. Each bag is 65p, so it's 20 times 65p. I'm keeping the unit there for a reason. Now, let's just show you a trick on this one. 20 you can write as actually 2 lots of 10, lots of 65p. And why is that useful? Well, I can double and times by 10 very happily. If I times by 10, I get 10 lots of 65p is £6.50. If I go straight into that, and that's then £13 left over. And that's really handy. So that's £13 left over, and it's £10 it cost me. And percentage profit is the difference over the original. So again, you need to remember this, times 100. So the difference is 3 over the original, which was £10, times 100. And as you can see here, that cancels that, so it's 30%. 30%, really good.